Hi guys, you might know that I like wind-up or clockwork bath time toys. And I spotted this chap in the charity shop, 99p, clearly wind-up. Looks like it needs to be fully wound. Oh yeah, there we go. Which is fair enough, but I then noticed he's got this underneath. Oh, while we're looking there, we can see it's a Tommy or Tomy 2007. Right, yeah, you can see that this undoes. And if we get it open, it's got button cell inside. 4, 2, 3. 3 button cells. That last one looks a little bit sorry for itself. Yeah, they all look a bit sorry. So I'll just clean the contact in the bottom there, and I'll put 3 new button cells in, which is interesting because I've just done a video of the packs of button cells I just ordered from Amazon. Got 50 of them for a couple of quid, or a bit more than that, but not much more. Yeah, one of my postbag videos that was. So I'll go and get them and we'll see what happens, because I've absolutely no idea what happens if he's got batteries in him. 3 fresh batteries in there. I suspect he's got to get wet or something to do whatever it's going to do. I expect water has to go in there. That's what I'm guessing. We could take it apart. I'll put it in water first and see if anything happens. Yeah, I'll go and run some water. Well, there's some water. Nothing seems to happen. I think we are going to have to take him apart. I reckon that's a switch on there. It's definitely a wire just inside his mouth there. Because I could always go and look it up to see if we can find any information about him. Let's just see if he actually works in the water. Yeah, so that bit works. But we've no idea what the switch does. Right, I'll dry him off and we'll see if we can get him apart. Well, I hope I've dried him off. I really can't imagine what he does. Oh, different size screws. Okay, well, that hasn't helped much. That's just the clockwork motor there. Maybe we can undo that. Oh, there's a screw down there. Okay. Smaller screwdriver. One down there. That one's a bit corroded. I wonder if that's holding it in place. No, that's not holding it. So what is holding it? Put that back in again for now. Well, it looks like that will unclip. I'll just get some paper towels. It does look like it wants to come apart if I push that. Right, okay. That one doesn't want to come up. Got it. Right, so that's our clockwork motor. Which is wound up like that. So that gear turns. Don't want to lose that. Don't want to lose that. So we can see the gears in there. Also got a couple of screws there. Okay, now we've got the bottom off. The batteries have dropped out. Don't really want them to get wet. Okay. So that's our bit of cable. Still can't imagine what it actually does. Very curious. Right, those were the three. Let's move them to a separate pile. Move them to a separate pile. Move them. Well, this is far more involved than I expected. Lift up now, yes, that's lifting up. These ones together. Right, okay. So we can see the gearbox. Can we now lift the No. I still can't imagine what that switch does. Can we lift that over there perhaps? Get it off. Come on. Right. It's going to be one of those things that it won't come apart unless we can get the arms off, I reckon. I don't know. Can we just split his head open? Maybe. If we do that gently. Probably all going to suddenly spring apart horribly, isn't it? Right, I'm going to stop filming for a minute while I use a bit more brute strength. Well, in the end, he decided he would come apart for me. It's obviously glued all the way around here, but he did eventually give up. And as I say, this bit operates a switch just there, and then this, which looks like it's failed, that looks like that should be a diaphragm around the top of there. There's also a diaphragm on the bottom. Whether he's supposed to make a noise, will that bit come right out? Might do. I think it wants to, I've just got to convince it. I think it's been glued in various places to try and hold it there. Yeah, see, it did want to come out. There was a couple of pegs there that were glued into there. Right, so what do we think this was? Because that's clearly a diaphragm that's sort of fallen in. See if I can get it out. I wonder if he blew bubbles. Or is that just a speaker? I don't know. That's some sort of a speaker. See if we can get the batteries back in there. Dry them off before we put them back in. Can't hear any movement. I bet that's... I wonder if it did blow bubbles. I guess we're going to have to take this apart to see if there's any other sort of electronics in there, but I suspect there isn't. Oh, there is. Oh, that is a speaker then. Right. So I think he probably made a noise, maybe even spoke. And the speakers got wet and died. And that's all wet in there as well, or got corrosion anyway. Trying to go across where the push momentary button would go across there. Wet now, that's going to be no good. If I put these 3 screws back in again, that'll hold the batteries in place, making contact. Probably don't need all 3, that's probably enough. That's my meter. Okay, nothing coming out the battery. Oh yes, there is. Right, so we've got power out the battery. Put the light on again so we can see that. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think the light keeps going as soon as we get there. But... So, that should be, how about if I turn it that way? Is that any better? Yeah. So if I probe over here, yeah, so we're getting continuity as far as here. Getting continuity as far as the speaker switch or the button. Just a thought. I think that's probably as far as we're going to go. I could try and find a little speaker and connect it up, just see if we get any sound out of there. And assume that that speaker's dead. Well, I've given it my best shot. I've cleaned all the crystals and that off here, all the water damage, so it's nice and shiny. And I've replaced the speaker and nothing happens. I've got voltage to here, but if I short across the momentary push button, in other words where that goes, which is just here, then nothing happens, which is a shame. It'd have been nice to have heard what it actually did. Assume it would have made some sort of noise, but there's nothing, which is a shame. I think I've said that a few times. So, do we bother putting it all back together? Honest answer, I don't think so. We could see it actually paddled okay. I expect it will still paddle. We just don't need to have the batteries in there, so the balance won't be quite right. Yeah, I suppose I could put it back together, but we're not going to get the sound effects, whatever they were. Well, I've put him back together, but I've kept the speaker, which I can now see is full of water, and I've kept a little sound circuit as well. I don't think I'll be able to do anything with it because I couldn't get it working just now, but I do have a box full of these, so I'll keep it just in case. It did occur to me that he might sync now, because where the wires went through, there's little grommets on either side of the plastic where the wire went through. I filled them so they shouldn't leak, but they might. If they do, that means they'll sink. And it is going down. Oh, because the head end's going to sink anyway, because the seals that were supposed to keep the loudspeaker dry had failed, so he's probably further head down than he should be. Well, he sort of works, but we're not going to get any sound out of him. Shame.
Hey, thanks for watching. There's plenty of videos on my main channel with more added daily, so don't forget to subscribe and enable the notifications to keep you up to date with my new releases. You can help keep my channel running by donating $1 on Patreon to buy me coffee. You can always find more information in the video description. Thanks again for watching.